Sarah and Sandra had been friends since secondary school. Not the kind of friendship people easily forget, but the deep type, one built on shared classrooms, shared secrets, shared dreams, and countless memories. They survived teenage years together, graduated from secondary school together, went on to university, and still remained inseparable. People admired their bond. Anyone who saw them believed they would be friends forever. Life, however, does not treat everyone the same. After university, their paths began to look different. Sarah finished school successfully and, not long after, met a very rich man. Not just rich, extremely rich. A billionaire. She married him and suddenly stepped into a world many women only dream about. Luxury cars lined her garage. Designer bags filled her wardrobe. Expensive shoes, clothes, perfumes, everything was in excess. She didn't work. She didn't stress. She didn't lift a finger. She was the perfect definition of Nwani Odegu, a rich man's wife living softly. Sandra's life went in the opposite direction. She didn't get married. She got pregnant for her poor boyfriend. Because she was the first daughter, tradition did not allow her to stay in her parents' house with a child. So she moved in with the man, hoping life would somehow work out. It didn't. Her baby daddy barely provided for her or their child. Some days, food was a struggle. Bills piled up. Help never came. Her family felt disappointed in her. After all the money they spent sending her to school, she got pregnant and disgraced them. Slowly, they withdrew their support. Friends stopped calling. Doors closed one after the other. Sandra became a beggar in people's DMs, not because she wanted to, but because she had no choice. She was a graduate with good results and a strong CV, yet there were no jobs. The country was hard. Companies weren't hiring. She applied everywhere, big companies, small companies, yet nothing came through. The only person she could run to was Sarah. At first, Sarah helped her. But help came with humiliation. Anytime Sarah sent Sandra money, she would go straight to their general girls group and announce it. She would mock her openly, saying things like, "I just helped Sandra again," or "paid her bills." God forbid poverty. Sometimes she even sent screenshots of the transfer receipts to the group, laughing and turning Sandra's pain into entertainment. Sandra tried to talk to her. She told her calmly how it made her feel, how exposing her struggles hurt her dignity. Sarah would laugh it off and say, "I'm just catching cruise. Don't take it personal." But deep down, she knew what she was doing. She enjoyed it. Mocking Sandra made her feel powerful. Night after night, Sandra cried into her pillow. She prayed silently, begging God to send help. Her heart was heavy with shame, pain, and frustration. Then came the reunion. Their old secondary school girls group decided to organize a reunion party, a classy hangout at an expensive hotel. Everyone was excited. But Sandra wasn't. She had nothing to wear. No money. No strength to pretend. When Sarah asked if she was attending, Sandra said no. She explained that she couldn't afford clothes or preparations. Surprisingly, Sarah offered to handle everything. She sent her money to buy a new dress, new slippers, a bag, and to make her hair. Sandra was overwhelmed with gratitude. She thanked her endlessly. She went shopping. Bought a simple but beautiful dress, neat slides, a small bag. She made her hair. For the first time in a long while, she felt human again. On the day of the reunion, Sandra left her 4-month-old baby with a neighbor and headed out. At the hotel, everyone looked successful: latest iPhones, flashy cars, luxury handbags, loud laughter, and bragging rights. Sandra sat quietly, smiling, trying to belong. Then Sarah started again. Right there, in front of everyone, she announced loudly that she was the one who paid for Sandra's dress, her bag, her hair, everything. People laughed. Some felt pity. Others enjoyed the drama. Sandra wished the ground would swallow her whole. Her heart bled, but she stayed quiet. That night, she went home broken. Something snapped inside her. She swore that Sarah would learn a lesson, one she would never forget. Days later, while scrolling through Facebook, Sandra saw Sarah's husband, Mike, celebrating his birthday. She wished him well casually. Minutes later, he replied in her DM. The conversation flowed easily. He asked about her life. She told him the truth, that she was struggling, doing POS work despite being a graduate. Mike was shocked. He asked for her CV and promised to help. And he did. Soon, money started coming, Nigerian Naira 100,000 here, 200,000 Nigerian Nairas there. He got her a good job with a solid salary. He hired a nanny for her child. He bought her gifts. Life slowly changed. Sarah noticed something was different. Sandra stopped asking her for money. She became confident again. Sarah even begged her to ask for help, but Sandra refused, smiling quietly. Mike and Sandra grew close. Too close. Eventually, they crossed the line. One night, they met in a hotel. Sandra told herself she wasn't married. Her baby daddy hadn't paid her bride price. She convinced herself it was revenge. That night, she recorded everything. After that, she pulled away. Then one day, Sarah mocked her again after sending her money. Sandra asked her to meet her. At the meeting, Sandra showed her the video. Sarah collapsed. She begged. She cried. She apologized. She promised never to mock anyone again. Sandra deleted the video. Sarah stayed in her marriage. She forgave her husband. But the lesson stayed with her forever. Life can turn at any time. Never mock people when you help them. Today's helper can be tomorrow's beggar.